Hey traders, checking in on the stock market today. We've got our horse still up when I pulled up the charts. So we have quad witching tomorrow. And again, use Google if you do not know what quad witching is. And we're going to be looking for SPY to distribute a dividend, which I generally dislike that day significantly. Even though I do get paid some dividends, I want to see our charts nice and clear. And it's an artificial change in price reflected in the dividend distribution that changes our SPY charts. Fortunately, over this entire pullback, we have been already watching the futures chart, so that's what we're going to stick with. Nice and comfortable. Bears controlled overnight last night. What was notable for me when I saw it happen was this hourly bear flag, and that's because in previous nights, we had a little bit of bear momentum at the end of the day, and then no follow through, no lower high and lower low, and of course that bear flag is a lower high and lower low. So we had significant bear follow through, but it was also a really nice setup, especially for myself as someone who likes oversold bounces, because it was a very clear oversold bounce play. We had hourly RSI levels in the teens on a lot of individual names, and not only that, we had clear support levels nearby. So the ideal bottom fish is when you're extended on certain time frames, you have oversold RSI, but not just that, it's a waterfall drop. We're not seeing little bear flags on the way down, and you have a previous support level to go off of. If you have all of those things, it's nice and easy because you look to buy the dip. If the support levels that you're playing off of breaks, then you're wrong and exit and you take that loss. And when you're right, it is more significant than when you're wrong. So S&P 500 chart, the 4-hour time frame was overextended. That's what I'm talking about on a waterfall. It's exactly what I want to see. If I'm going to be playing off the 30-30, make that 33.09 support here, we drop down to 33.22, but I want to see the chart as extended as possible so the bears run out of momentum. Again, the visualization and the analogy is if you have a roadblock and a bear sprinting towards it, and if the bear is able to take breaks along the way, it has more energy to break through the resistance or support than if it's a straight move. He's sprinting the entire time. He's running out of breath by the time he gets to that support wall. So we bounced in the morning. We knew from that bounce we were just looking for an hourly lower high. I personally chose Tesla to play with my bounce. And actually, one part of the setup that I am forgetting is we hit a low, we bounced in pre-market, pulled back, and we had an even closer level to be going off of. We were looking for the hourly higher low compared to 33.22. That's even less risk than that 33.09 level. So we held 33.09. We formed an hourly higher low right when the bell rang. And then we got a little bit of chop, hourly higher low and higher high with a lack of bull follow through. So it was great for day trading, but as far as clarity in the midterm, I should say, the 12-hour time frame is not giving us that at this point. We've got a tightening range. We are range bound. Low, high is our triple top at this point, higher low, and now trying for another higher low. 12-hour inside bar is going to close here in an hour. If the inside bar breaks bullish, we look back for a test of our triple top resistance. If the inside bar breaks bearish, we're going to test these support levels, and it's entirely possible that we don't see either of those two things happen, or either of those two levels break, I should say, the resistance or support, until next week. And as long as we're in this sideways range, the percentage chance of whether it's bulls or bears in the break, the direction of the break we're going to get, it's fairly even. So less confident while we're in this range, but nice to play off those levels. IWM, trying to form a daily higher low. Anything above 147.68 would do it. And the question that we need to answer on all individual names that we're looking at is, have we changed the hourly trend back to the bulls? And for IWM, the answer is no. We hit the low of the day, high of the day, higher low, lower high, just a tightening hourly equilibrium for today. And you can compare individual names. I look at Amazon and I say, okay, midday, we dropped to a lower low. We're not close to changing the hourly trend. Let's see how Tesla did. Tesla, hourly higher low, tightening hourly range. But I can see it's stronger than Amazon because it didn't break the low of the day in the middle of the day like Amazon did. So IWM has not changed the hourly trend bullish, have to do so for the daily higher low to be set on this bounce. QQQ. So again, let's just look at the futures here because that 12-hour time frame is a little bit more clear. And we've been noting that the NASDAQ and the tech sector has been a bit weaker. And let's go to the 12 hours so it looks the same, or I should say similar. And you can see we're just right at these levels and we are breaking support. There is just no bear follow through. no bear follow through on those support breaks. So we're calling this a triple bottom, we're calling this a double top, and we're still in this range. We would have to see the bulls change this hourly trend. I would need to see overnight these bulls get over 11,150 up here, confirm the hourly trend change, and then we would be looking for a 12-hour lower high to be the result of this bounce. The percentage distance that the bulls would have to cover for a bull break from here is over 4.5%. And if we can compare that to the S&P 500, the percentage distance needed to break to a higher high, it is half of that, less than half of that. So again, there's all kinds of measurements that we can do as far as who's stronger, who's weaker, who's leading, who's lagging. And for myself as a trader personally, over the last 2 years, getting a grasp on that has been a game changer for me. And I've gotten messages from other people who have started to get the grasp of that, and it's been a game changer for them as well. And that's why in these review videos, I'm not covering individual names. What did Snow do today? Who cares? This is what the framework is. And knowing all this information with our sectors and our markets allows us to apply this information on all those individual names. And I find that that is the easiest way to keep a grasp on what is going on in the market on a day-by-day basis. Financial sector. So daily time frame, again, it's choppy. I don't like this daily chart for clarity. The double top at 25.27 is very clear. That's our short-term resistance. And short-term support is 24.49, so I just talked myself through it. I guess that's just what we're going to focus on. So this is the range that we're watching and waiting for a break. And that's pretty similar to the tightening ranges that we have on the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ futures that we're watching. So fairly similar, holding support today, and we'll see how we break out of this range. Let's see, we're forgetting XLV. XLV, low, high of the bounce, double bottom, higher high, now trying for another higher low. Have we changed the hourly trend back to the bulls? The answer is no. We would have to break the high of today to do so. Pulled back, held the low today. There was another bottom fishing opportunity today, first thing in the morning and then middle of the day, which is my kind of day as a oversold bounce player, and resistance has to break for the hourly trend change. Biotech sector still holding on real strong. They were green there a little bit at the end of the day, closed just barely red. Daily inside bar and still holding on strong. If the inside bar breaks bearish, we look for a daily higher low to form, but definitely our strongest sector over the last week. Did the financial sector, semiconductors. So semiconductors, huge gap down buying. We had news out of NVDA, and that had a significant impact. And you look at the day NVDA had, big bull morning, and then closing close to the high of the day at the end of the day. Not many names you're going to see close near the high of the day at the end. And NVDA bulls helped SMH with that very significant buying of the gap down open. Hourly higher low, but again, have not really confirmed any kind of clear hourly trend change at this point. And that's the case for a lot of individual names. Have to break the highs of today, tomorrow, for an hourly higher low to be set. Nope, for a daily higher low to be set on some of these names, like SMH. Looking for a daily higher low compared to 164.47. The VIX pulled back pretty solidly today. I was actually surprised when I looked at that chart with how much of the pullback we did see. And we are on the verge of entering a daily downtrend. 2630 is a triple low here over the last 6 days. If that level breaks, we will call this a daily downtrend with the lower high and lower low. And from there, we'll zoom out and we'll look for a weekly higher low to form. Anything above the 2030 bottom that we came from. But clearly a significant shift in momentum. My chart, what was I looking at just then? Hourly. That's why I thought that was the daily time frame. We got to start over there. Daily time frame. Bounce is underway. We know we're looking for a daily lower high. It was significant selling all day in the volatility index, but that makes sense a bit more with the market bouncing from the open and the VIX pulling back from the open. So need a reset there. I just confused myself. We are looking for the daily lower high to be set on this VIX bounce, and we would have to drop down and break 24.90 if we were going to see a lower low. I should say a downtrend on the daily time frame confirmed. Dollar rejecting hard from resistance. Those bulls were real strong last night. Look at the 5-minute and shorter term time frames. When we were topping out, that 5-minute RSI was getting up almost towards 90. The bulls were in absolute control. 93.66 was the level to break. We got right up to it, and then we just smashed hard, unable to get over it. And again, if I'm a top fisher, if I'm top fishing that resistance, I want the bulls to be as extended as possible on as many time frames as possible, heading to that resistance. That is the bulls being exhausted by the time they get to resistance, and the bears easily just being able to push them away. So 4-hour time frame, major pullback. I'm expecting a 4-hour equilibrium. We're going to look for a higher low compared to 92.78 and then a lower high tomorrow. And again, if the dollar gives us this 4-hour equilibrium, we're very likely to see those futures charts stay in that 12-hour range into next week. Gold, still not doing much. Not really any info in the short term. Pullback today, bulls bought some of the dip. Again, I'm watching 1906 and 1902 as the most important supports, but we are going to need volume if we're going to see a notable clear break. And silver is the same thing. Silver is not giving us clarity. Bulls bought the dip, and we are just trading around this very sideways range over the last 2 weeks. Miners. That was our candle from yesterday. So miners, daily higher low support is 40.91. We held that today. Again, just choppy sideways. This is my definition of not clear, and that is why I have my position from playing off of gold support, and that's nice and clear. You know, I can make that entry. I can have small risk. I know the support level I'm playing off of, but if you're entering in the middle of a range, you're going to get chopped up. You're either playing at an extreme high or low off of support or resistance to keep that risk small and that reward solid. Otherwise, you got to wait because this is just not clear. And if you tried and trade a chart like this on a daily basis, if I look at a chart like this, I say, all right, I'm waiting for the break, not doing anything else on this chart. I'm going to go find something that is not this choppy and this range bound to trade, and I'll come back when we get a clear break. And that's what my game plan was on gold when we were in this monthly equilibrium that we were watching for 2 years. It was the same thing. I did not play gold much at all here, and I played gold more on this breakout than in probably the last 5 years combined. Wait for the tightening ranges to play out, either play off the highs or the lows. Both of them had a great resistance rejection from the high, a great bounce off support from the lows over that 2-year range. And then once it got going, it's way easier to make money here than it is here. Sideways versus expanding range. Oil, not topping out yet. 4-hour time frame, bull flag into continuation. That was a very rough drawing to be looking for that daily lower high, but we'll leave that line up there and see if that's where we top out and start pulling back. I doubt we would pull back this much. This was just a very rough drawing that I made. But we're looking for the equilibrium, and we're looking for that lower high, and we are going to be watching for a loss of the 4-hour uptrend to indicate that it has been set. Anything above 39.42 is a 4-hour higher low. And watching for that lower high. Natural gas. That is a dump. That is a massive dump. I missed something on natural gas. Please fill me in if there was news here or what. That is a bear flag confirmed in a huge way. And just like that, the weekly chart completely changes. Bulls got their run, but it did not last very long. Now we look for a weekly higher low, but then we're looking for the weekly lower high and just a tightening range into October. Probably late October, if anything. 4-hour RSI is crushed. And if I'm an aggressive bull, this is when I start to scout for a weekly higher low, but I am not trading natural gas personally, and that is a complete change in momentum. Oh, we had the inventory report today, so I assume it's around that as to why we dumped. Let's check the timing, 10:30 a.m. Eastern. No, it was going on before that. Let me know if you know. I was a bit away today doing important things, as you'll see in a couple minutes here. So thanks for following, like, and subscribe. I never ask to like and subscribe, but it definitely helps the YouTube algos in a big way, so I always appreciate that minimal effort. And I'm happy to interact with you in the comments if you would like to leave one. Do good things. Hi, this is Charting Man Dan at TheChartGuys.com, here to teach you how to tame the charts, get rich, get buff, all at the same time. We're proud to introduce to you the Big Bull Bodybuilder Barbell here for a limited time only at ChartGuys.com. Act now for a limited time and we'll send to you 47 DVDs with such exercises as the bull flag,
oversold bounce. The spinning top reversal candle. After following our carefully curated system, you'll be confident enough to make money on the charts, show some skin at the beach, and yell in all conversations. Yeah.